Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel again today. Before I waste any more time for anybody who actually cares, I have seen this anime, I have heard this song before, it's one of my favorite songs, so this is not a blind reaction. That being said, I have kind of referenced this song in a lot of my other reaction videos because I think that there's just a lot of stuff that kind of goes on in this song, and so I wanted to cover more of the musical analysis on this song like some other people have also kind of done. That being said, remember to like the video if you enjoy the reaction, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I want to try and hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and if that could happen, that would be absolutely awesome. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into the video here. I think the strongest part about this opening is just that choir. I mean, you hear how strong the choir, like, in itself kind of comes in, on top of all of the orchestral. I love that bell a lot, just because of the melody that it was going with. And this is one of my, ever since I heard this song, and a couple of the Nier Automata songs. I think Hiroyuki Sawano and man, I totally forgot his name. Keiichi somebody who does the music for Nier Automata. Their musical styles are very similar to each other in terms of like the melodies that they opt into using, and I've used a whole lot more of those types of melodies ever since having come across these people. And so these are some of the two favorite producers that I've ever come across. I like this song specifically just because it's not very, in terms of the melody itself, the notes that they pick, they use a lot of the same notes in order to just create such a dynamic effect. I mean, so far, especially this part, these are all only the same notes up until you get to here. And even still, these are all the same notes, actually. That's what makes this so good, in my opinion. And then they bring in more layers, like the choir. And I particularly like that, we'll get back into it, I guess I can't quite recall it here, but... this part. Because it goes in one direction, then it goes back in reverse the other direction for the notes that it picks. And I also like that progression that they're doing on the pluck. Dun, dun, dun. It goes down two notes directly, and then it skips a note to go down further, if you're looking at a keyboard. And I love how it switches up here. So such an interesting musical touch. They just and by they I do mean just Hiroyuki Sawano. It just completely changes it up, but they still kind of keep it in the same key, I think. They got the nice little lead right there, which again in electronic music, which is what I'm a music producer in, is basically just a synthesizer, so. And that percussion, his rhythm, is just so spot-on good. I like how he kind of phases that in and out on that lead. They're panning the taikos on each of the sides of the headphones, which is cool. I like how this kind of slowly stays on some of the same notes, and then just kind of goes up using those same notes, but to the next octave. And then they do it again with the next octave, which is cool. I think this next part is the best example of really just only using the same notes to, like, just create dynamic effect, or like, dynamic impact. Like, these are all only the same notes. Man, that's just so powerful. Every time I hear it, it doesn't even matter how many times I've heard this song. And I love how they bring in that violin right on top of the choir. Like, wow. I truly think that this song is one of the reasons, like, why everybody was so happy with Season 2, especially during the Reiner and Delpholt transformation scene. Like, they could not have done that one scene any better. I mean, it probably is one of my favorite scenes in anime, if not one of my favorite scenes. Just from how well they orchestrated all of that. Like, when you think about it, literally every single detail of that scene was perfect. I mean, none of it was off. I mean, down to, like, let's just look at the scene for a second, right? Because, I mean, they spent... I think the only thing that gave it away was going back to dive into the backstory to, like, then bring it to the conclusion of, like, revealing that they're the Colossal and the Armored Titans and whatnot. But, I mean, even more than that, I just think it's one of the most powerful things I've ever seen in anime, ever, was just having several conversations kind of having been going on at the exact same time, you know, with Mikasa and Armin and, you know, and, man, I totally forget her name, Hanji, like, all there on the wall after, you know, such a, you know, from a previous battle and whatnot. And then, you know, they're kind of conversing and everybody's kind of regrouped together and they're just kind of starting to walk away, and Eren and Bertolt, I mean, you know the scene, right? I mean, it's so crazy that they kind of, you know, something so small like that, they're able to, like, diverge into two various conversations. And then you're just able to kind of switch between the two at the same time, and then just have Bertolt and, you know, Reiner just kind of casually drop, you know, the biggest reveal, you know, that you could have had, because, I mean, that's what you'd been waiting for the entire Season 1, was to figure out who those people were. You didn't even know if that was going to be revealed until, like, Season 3 or 4, right? I mean, back when we were watching Season 1, I mean, I was watching that, you know, every week, you know, even back on Season 1 back in 2012, that was about when I started getting into anime. And then on top of that, you have this background track, you know, that starts to come in and just completely play out. And I mean, it's no wonder it's so many people's favorite scene. I mean, it was done so well. But I wanted to give this song a reaction, even though I've already heard this song, like, probably at least 100 or 1,000 times at best. Just because of how good this song actually is. I mean, in terms of that scene, I don't think this song could have been orchestrated any better, just as well. I mean, down to every single minor element of, like, the orchestral paired with the synthesizer, and even that really interesting fact that it just kind of, like, completely switches gears, like, halfway through and dives into a completely secondary melody. I mean, to be fair, I mean, I think they kind of do that because, like, if you look at it from, like, an OST perspective, you can use, like, the first half for, like, one scene and, like, the second half of the song for, like, a different scene, and then you can kind of use bits and pieces of all of that to kind of create a bigger picture, right, in terms of the actual story. It's like you can have, like a buildup of, like, various plot elements with, like, lesser music, and then you finally, like, dive into, like, this full-fledged chorus, you know, like, later on. Like when you actually hit, like, major plot points and stuff, and it's absolutely genius how everybody involved in this show, like, executed this so perfectly. And then you get Studio Mappa, like, for the Season 4. I mean, it was absolutely crazy, but I've rambled on way too long about this. I just wanted to, again, just kind of give this a reaction, again, even though I've already seen it, just because I love this song so much. But anyways, I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this despite, whether this was a blind reaction or not, if you guys have even gone on into my rambling this long as it has been. So I'm not going to make this video any longer. Thanks so much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it if you did actually get this far. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Try and hit that 1,000 subscribers like I said at the beginning. And thanks so much for watching one more time, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.